Okay, let's put it all together. Let's use words, let's use the number line, let's use interval, let's use set. But the coolest thing here and the most important thing to do here every time you do domain and range is try to shade the axis like a number line. What do I mean by that? Look at this particular graph. Notice that it has an open circle. Open circle means that's your starting point, but you don't include that number. So right down here, open circle, okay, means starting point, start here, okay, but don't include the number. Okay, so what does that mean in words? In words, well, we're going to start at the -2, but look at this arrow. That arrow tells us to keep on going forever and ever. So basically what you're doing here is that you're saying all values bigger than -2. Okay, so there's your domain. All values of x that are greater than, oops, I need some more room, that are greater than -2. Notice how I said greater than. I did not say greater than and equal to. That's the key, all right? So watch the words. Now, how would we do the range for this guy? Well, look at the range. Again, look, the range starts here and it goes forever upwards. Okay, what is here? Well, here is -3. So you can say the same thing. All values of y that are greater than -3. And again, greater than does not mean including that. So now we got the words down. That's easy. All right, so I'm going to get rid of this. Bada boom. Notice how I didn't touch my graph though. Okay, notice how I didn't touch my graph. I left my number line on there because the next thing it's going to ask you to do, it's going to ask you to do, guess what? A number line. Well, guess what? We're done. We did the number line. The domain then is any values from, look at that, from -2 onwards, but not including -2. So we would shade, and we would shade the arrow saying that it's going forever and ever. Range, on the other hand, very simple. The range then starts at -3, right? Starts at -3, but again, because of the open circle, we don't include it, and it goes onwards, upwards. Okay, upwards and onwards, and you would do that. There's your number line. Boy, that's just way too easy. The next one here, interval notation. Interval notation, okay? And then set notation. Interval notation, remember, those are our brackets and so on and so forth. Okay, so how do we do this one? Let's do domain. Okay, erase this. Again, notice how I left the number line on the graph because that's going to help us out. All right, so for our domain, we want values that do not include -2 but are bigger than -2. So our starting point would be a curve bracket for our domain. Curve meaning start here but don't include, from -2 forever, all the way to infinity. And remember, we can never reach infinity, so we have to end it with a curve bracket. See how it works? I love interval notation. It is so easy. Let's look at range then. Where did we start? We started with a curve bracket because, again, this is an open circle. That means you start at -3 but don't include it, and we're going upwards. So again, we're going to infinity, but we can never make it. Some people may say you should put this in and say you're going to a positive infinity. And same goes with this guy. You're going to a positive infinity. Some people may be a little technical that way. Yeah, it's okay if you put the positive. I think that's a good idea. All right? Now, let's go to the last one. The last one here is our favorite. That's the formal one. That's the set notation. That's where you have to use formal mathematical language. Okay, one more time. Here we go. Notice again that I did not erase our number lines. Okay, so let's start with domain. You'd say all values of x such that x has to be bigger than -2, and all values of x, because it's a line, have to be part of the real number system. Beautiful. That's how easy it is. So it's basically like drawing a number line again. All right? Okay, let's do the range. Range would be all values of y such that y has to be greater than -3, and you can see it. It's bigger than -3. It's going in that direction. And again, all y values have to be part of that real number system. That's how you do those things. I'm going to come back and do another podcast for this guy and this example in a few seconds.